order the Ottawa City Commission meeting for Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. May I have roll call, please?
Mayor Clayton,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Crowley,
Present.
Commissioner Allen,
Present.
Commissioner Skidmore,
Present.
and Commissioner Van Layden.
Present.
We are all present and accounted for. I'd like to welcome everyone here in the audience for the first meeting of the year, as well as those watching online. We will do the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Commissioner Skidmore. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father in heaven, we just give you thanks for this gathering, for all those represented here tonight. We thank you for our city, and we thank you, Lord, for the way you've blessed us in 2025 and all of our employees and the safety we've experienced. And so we, Lord, pray for this new year, too, the same way for safety of all our employees and for a blessed good year, and that we look forward to see the blessings again once that you give to us. And Lord, as we look around this country and around this world, we see pockets of unrest and frustration. And Lord, I just ask for your presence and your peace to come upon these places. And now as we go about this meeting, we ask for your direction and guidance as we discuss the issues on our agenda tonight. Again, we thank you for all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. That will take us to public comments. Do we have any registered?
We have none registered.
Okay. We will skip over item 7, appointments, proclamations, recognitions, and nominations. That'll take us to item 8, the consent agenda, which consists of minutes from December 17th, 2025 meeting, 2026 cereal malt beverage license application for Pizza Time, and an agenda approval.
Motion approved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. That'll take us on to item 9, declaration. At this time, I'd like to give the commissioners a chance to declare any conflict or communication they've had that might influence their ability to consider today's issues impartially. Hearing none, we will skip over item 10, unfinished business, as we have none. Item 11, new business. 11A, public hearing on Reinvestment Housing Incentive District, RHID, Development Plan and RHID District for Woodridge Estates. And we will have Assistant Director McCurdy presenting. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. All right. As the mayor said, this is we're going to start off with a public hearing on a Reinvestment Housing Incentive District, which from now on I'll refer to as an RHID for Woodridge Estates. This meeting is just to discuss the development plan for this project. So it's recommended that the City Commission open and hold a public hearing for consideration of the RHID district for Woodridge Estates project. The public has been invited to come before the Commission tonight to give comments through a notice that was put in the Herald on December 24th.
Do we need to open that meeting? Right. I will open the public hearing at 7:03.
Alrighty, and I'm going to start here with just a little project overview for you all. So the applicant for the RHID district, Woodridge Estates, is Legacy Homes of Ottawa, LLC. This project development is for 13 single-family for-sale homes that will be located at what currently is just one lot at 101-001 East Wilson Street, which is where Wilson and Milner over on the north side by the Lincoln Elementary School. And this item was last discussed at your December 3rd regular meeting. So this project is eligible under the RHID Act in Senate Bill number 17. It's, like I said, the development for 13 single-family for-sale homes. The proposed development has 3 unique floor plans ranging with just over 1,000 square feet to 1,400 square feet. And they have some proposed starting market rates at these units of $212 to $265. Again, those are just proposed starting rates. Obviously, the final product will depend on which floor plan and unique pieces the purchasers decide on. This subsection of for sale houses does fall within the parameters of the housing needs that is outlined in the 2025 Housing Study commissioned by Franklin County Development Council. According to that study, the report stated the City of Ottawa will need an initial 34 homes within the price range of $200,000 to just under $275,000. And this is for those of you who maybe don't work in incentive proceedings. But this is a timeline. So we received the application in July. We came before you in July for the first action step, which is to establish a resolution with the intent to set this district. Then we send that resolution that says we do need housing and that this incentive would assist in procuring that housing for our community to the Kansas Department of Commerce. And they sign off and say, yes, those two things are true. And so now we're at action item number, and then there's action item 2, where you state out to the public that we will hold this public hearing, which gets us to action item 3, which is holding this public hearing this evening. And I will stand for any other questions you might have about the project. We also have our bond counsel and the developer here as well.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? We'll hear from anyone from the public who wishes to speak. Last call for anyone in the audience who would like to speak. Hearing none. We'll close the public hearing at 7:06. That'll take us on to item 11B, Ordinance adopting Reinvestment Housing Incentive District, RHID, Development Plan, establishing RHID, and approving development agreement for Woodridge Estates. This ordinance adopts the RHID Development Plan, formally establishes the RHID district boundaries for the Woodridge Estate project, and authorizes execution of the associated development agreement.
Yes, and it is recommended by staff that the City Commission consider this ordinance for approval tonight, that is establishing the RHID district. It adopts the plan of development for housing and public infrastructures in such that district, and it makes certain findings in conjunction therewith. So this is the exact same project I just went through with you, so I'm gonna kind of just glaze over these couple slides, but I did include them for you for a reference here for anyone watching at home. So we just completed action step number 3, which was holding the public hearing, which moves us to action step number 4 in the incentive, which is considering the ordinance that adopts the plan. It establishes the district, and it approves the execution of the development agreement with the developer. So the development agreement, it outlines the parameters for utilization of ad valorem increment generated by improvements made within the district to reimburse the developer for eligible construction expenses. For those of you who don't speak in that language, what that means is it outlines the development. Ad valorem is another term for property tax. So all of the reimbursement for the developer is made through increased property taxes by increasing the value of the property itself. That wouldn't otherwise happen if not for this development. The financing agreed upon here is pay-as-you-go, meaning that the developer first has to pay the property taxes to get reimbursed. The payment terms are a maximum of not to exceed $576,000 plus interest on private loans secured by the applicant to finance project eligible costs, or the final increment generated by tax year 2045, which is 20 years after the signing of the ordinance, whichever occurs first. So we'll either hit the limit or 20 years. The city will retain a 2.5% administrative fee to cover the cost of ongoing oversight of this agreement in the district. Eligible expenses are defined by that act that I said earlier, is put on by Kansas state statute. The payment of taxes has to be prompt. They can pay under protest, but they do have to pay. And then the transfer of the agreement can only happen by your guys' approval, the governing body. And all of these items within the agreement were agreed upon between the city and the developer. I will state that the version originally included in the packet has been altered slightly from the one that we are going to execute. The only difference is some clarifying language related to the words eligible expenses. Everything else, like the dollar amount, maximum reimbursement years, all of those things are the exact same, but I do want to clarify that fact with you. And this proposed ordinance, the development plan, and the development agreement were all prepared by the city's bond counsel, reviewed by our city attorney, and found to be approved to form. This Item this evening strategically aligns with the Housing and Neighborhoods Quality Housing for All initiative that is part of the city's strategic goals. And it is recommended by staff for you to approve this ordinance or to refer this item to a regular meeting, the next regular meeting for continued deliberation. And again, I am here, bond counsel, legal, and the developer if you have questions.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Like I said, I don't really have any questions, but I'm just excited about this. As I see our development over the last several years, we've gone every direction in town. I mean, south and east and north, and we're limited west with the floodplain, I know. But it's just exciting to see that every part of the town is being touched by development. And I'm really excited about this program. And so I'll make the motion we approve item 11B on our agenda.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I got a little bit here. I'm gonna bounce back and forth between bond counsel and then you, if you guys can kind of help me out here.
Okay.
In the feasibility study, it states the district is anticipated to generate $1,139,827 in gross revenues. I'm assuming that's property taxes.
It is primarily.
Can you step up to the mic so the people listening can hear?
Yes.
Okay. And is what time period is that over?
It can be for up to 25 years statutorily.
Okay. And it generates, is it 12,000 right now in property taxes? Is that what I'm reading here?
Yes, that's true, but just to clarify, about it can go for 25 years under the RHID Act. What we're proposing here is 20 years.
Okay.
And that's what's stated in the feasibility study.
And that's, once again, so 20 years, that's the 1.1 million that it would generate.
Yes.
Okay. Which if it just sat there empty, it would generate 240,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to bring that up. For those either watching online who don't have it in front of them, it's on the city website. There's 60, it looks like 64 pages of information in this, the feasibility study and the development agreement that is available to kind of read and go through as well to see any of those numbers. Do we have any other discussion? May I have roll call, please?
How do you vote? Mayor Pro Tem Crowley?
I will make, before I vote, I have, and I've made this statement before, I've done work for Legacy Homes before. I'm under no contractual agreement with them on this project at this point, so I feel that I'm okay to go ahead and vote on this item. So I will vote yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Van Layden?
Yes.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
And Mayor Clayton?
I vote yes. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thanks.
We get more time with you. That'll take us
Yeah,
on
I won't go anywhere.
to item 11C, resolution defining depository institutions and authorized signers. Updates authorized signers by removing one signer and reflecting a legal name change for another.
Yes, so staff does recommend approval of this resolution that defines depository institutions for idle funds held by the city of Ottawa. So Kansas State statute outlines the requirements for the governing body of any municipality to designate the banks, savings and loans associations, and savings banks that serve to hold any sort of city funds. And they also need to outline the officer or officers having custody of such funds. So this proposed resolution would repeal and replace Resolution 1953-24, which was approved January 17th of 2024. This updated resolution, as the mayor already read, removes one authorized signer, which would be the outgoing city manager, and one minor change related to updating a legal name for another individual who was already a signer on accounts. To save you the time, if you didn't read the resolution from the public, it requires that we have two authorized signers on all checks to open an account, to close an account, to borrow money on behalf of the city, or to enter into any sort of legal written lease as well. The city attorney did review this resolution and found it approved to form. It lines strategically with our goal of stewardship of resources, to employ best practices with emphasis on accountability, transparency, and public engagement. And it's recommended by staff that you consider to take action today to approve this resolution, or we can move it to a following meeting if you want to continue deliberations. And I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you. I think it's, a good thing to bring up as well that we do have this, and there's always those checks and balances by having two people. Obviously, we have an employee who has left, who is on this for the past 5 days as with no longer being an employee. But I think that this is just a great thing that we have so the public can see who is able to do these types of things for that transparency as well.
And staff did make the change to switch out signers on the checks prior to his departure. So, I mean, we did think that through,
Yeah.
and we knew this was an up-and-coming thing,
Yeah.
so.
Thank you. With that, I will stand for a motion or any other discussion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we approve item 11D on the agenda.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. May I have roll call, please?
Can I just clarify that motion? Did you mean item C?
Oh, 11C.
Yep.
I was
Okay,
ahead of,
okay.
yep, ahead of myself, sorry.
No problem. How do you vote, Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Crowley?
Yes.
Commissioner Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaler? Oh.
Nope.
Mayor
That's-
Clayton?
Yes.
And
Va-
Skidmore, Commissioner Skidmore. Oh,
Van
Commissioner Van Leeden, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
There we go. We'll get you
That's- Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank
Assistant
you.
Director McCurdy. Okay, that will take us on to item 11D, which is the commission board and commission assignments for 2026. We'll have City Clerk Sherman review and discuss city commission board and commission assignments for the 2026 calendar year.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm here tonight to discuss the item for consideration of the commission boards and commission assignments for 2026. Each year, the City Commission determines who will serve as a representative on city boards, advisory committees, and outside organizations for the upcoming year. So we will go over the opportunities. So our first one is the Airport Advisory Board. Typically, this has been the mayor. So
Yeah, I made the call last night, so.
okay, perfect. The Chamber of Commerce has traditionally been the mayor pro tem.
I think I'm already on it because they already sent me an email reminding me when it was.
Okay, there we go. This is gonna be easy.
Yeah.
We'll talk about KMEA in just a minute. The Library Board,
I'm fine with that.
NRP, the Neighborhood Revitalization Program. Previous Commissioner Kaler was on this, and so we'll need to find someone to fill that spot.
I haven't been on that for a long time, so I'll take that one if need be.
Okay. And then Ottawa Main Street Association.
I can do that.
Okay. The OMA Advisory Board.
I'll take that one if nobody else wants it. I've been on it before.
Perfect. And then Prairie Paws Animal Shelter.
I know, Commissioner Skidmore, you have been on it. I know it's finance, so I know you love it, but
yeah.
I've served on that as well. I would be open to
You wanna
serving
do
that.
I've been on there for 2 years. and
Yeah.
so- Yeah, sure, you want to?
Yeah, I can take
Fantastic.
that.
Perfect. All right, and then if we could just have a motion to approve all those appointments, that would be great.
So move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. May I get roll call vote, please?
How do you vote, Mayor Pro Tem Crowley?
Yes.
Commissioner Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
Commissioner Van Layden?
Yes.
And Mayor Clayton?
I vote yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Yep.
And again, you get to stay for several in a row.
Yes,
So
you.
that takes us on to item 11E, Kansas Municipal Energy Agency, KMEA, Board Appointment, Director 1. Discussion and consideration of the Kansas Municipal Energy Agency, KMEA, Board Appointment for Director 1.
Perfect. This item for consideration of an appointment to the KMEA Board of Directors, specifically Director 1. This appointment would fulfill the unexpired term of Commissioner Kaler with the term running through April 30th, 2027. The City Commission selects representatives to the KMEA Board on a biannual basis. Director 1 serves as a primary voting member when present, with Director 2 as an alternative in their absence. Directors must either reside in the city's electrical utility service territory or be a city employee, and meetings are typically held twice a year in Wichita. There's no financial impact associated with this appointment, and the process is governed by KMEA bylaws. So it's recommended tonight that you make an appointment for a representative to the KMEA Board of Directors, position 1. And with that, I'd stand with any questions.
I'd be glad to throw my name on this one. I have not served on this before, and I know it's an important committee assignment, so I'd be glad to take this on if the others would agree to that.
Good with me.
I'm good with it.
Okay. With that, I'll look for a motion to select Commissioner Skidmore to fill ex-Commissioner Kaler's term.
I move exactly what you said.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. We'll save you the trouble. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
That takes us on to item 11F, Kansas Municipal Gas Agency Board Appointment, Director. Discussion and consideration of the Kansas Municipal Gas Agency, KMGA, Board Appointment for Director.
As you stated, this item is for discussion and consideration of the appointment of the KMGA Board of Directors, specifically the director position. Staff is recommending the appointment of Dave Hunsaker to fill the unexpired term effective through August 31st, 2027. The KMGA is governed by a board of directors composed of one director and one alternative from each member city, as outlined in the KMGA bylaws. Directors serve 2-year terms, and alternates may act in the absence of the director. With the departure of the city manager at the end of 2025, a new appointment is needed to ensure continued representation for the city of Ottawa. Jeff Olson has served as the alternate for several years and will continue in that role. There is no financial impact associated with this, and this appointment is governed by the KMGA bylaws. And with that, we would look for a motion to appoint Dave Hunsaker to the KMGA Board of Directors position. And with that, I'd stand for any questions.
I'm assuming that Dave knows his name was thrown in.
Dave does know his name
Okay.
was thrown in there.
That being said, then I'll make the motion to appoint David Hunsaker to the KMGA Board of Directors, director position.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, that'll take us to item 12, comments by city manager.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. It's an honor to appear before you this evening. A couple of items we want to update the commission on. For starters, our new website launched today. You can see a mock-up of the opening page right there. Want to thank the IT staff, Paul and Matt, for their work and communications, Misty, and they've all been integral to getting this put together and getting the information to Core Civic, our vendor on this project. We hope that this is a more intuitive and user-friendly interface for folks who are looking to interact with our website, and we are happy to have that live. I'm sure, like any technological project, there will be links that need to be updated and changed, and this is kind of the soft opening, so you'll note that you cannot click through those links on the screen that's in front of you because we wanted to wait and let some users check it out. But it is up. You can go online and check that out. I want to, again, thank our city staff for all their hard work on that. Also want to talk about a fairly big result from partnership that has resulted here. That's the Safe Streets for All grant for Franklin County. Our city clerk, Melissa Sherman, has worked diligently on this project for a long time, and I want to give Melissa a chance to talk a little bit about the grant with you for a second.
Good evening again. Well, I'm so excited to start this year with some great news. Back in June, the City of Ottawa partnered with Franklin County Development Council, and the City of Wellsville to submit a Safer Street for All grant. Franklin County served as the official applicant, with the cities participating as a partner in the effort. The Safer Streets for All program is a federal transportation safety program. One of its key components is required is a local match. Through this program, applicants are able to apply to the state of Kansas for assistance with a portion of that match, specifically up to 15%. In October, we received notification from the state that they would provide the match funding if the project was awarded federally. On December 23rd, Franklin County received official notification from USDOT that the project was selected for funding. As you can see, the total project costs are $825,820. The SS4A grant is $660,656, and we are awarded, as I stated, the Kansas build for $156,906.09, leaving a local share amount of $8,257.91. The allocation of that is Ottawa, $207,386, and you can see Wellsville about $123,000, and Franklin County about $495,000. In terms of what this grant does, the purpose of the grant is to develop a county-wide transportation safety action plan. This is a strategic planning effort focused on identifying areas of concern, such as pedestrian crossings, roadway design, speed management, flood warnings, and other safety issues, and determining how those issues can be addressed. The grant also allows for demonstration projects, meaning we can test low-cost safety solutions, evaluate how they work in real-time conditions, and then determine what the most effective strategies are before making long-term investments. So the next steps, the county has already notified the state that we received the federal award. So the state will be issuing a funding agreement to the county, and the federal government will be doing that. We will then be looking at some internal MOUs between Franklin County and the city to define what that relationship will be. No work can begin until those agreements are fully executed. And finally, there is a separate grant opportunity for grant administration. As you know, with federal grants, it's pretty heavy on the administrative side, and so Franklin County is looking to pursue some funding to be able to provide a grant administrator for that. So we're looking forward to hearing more about that in the future. And Franklin County, like I said, will serve as that grant administrator. I'll continue to work closely with the county administrator and our partners to support coordination and keep the city commission informed of the project as it moves forward. This is a strong regional win with an important step toward improving transportation safety across Franklin County and within the city of Ottawa. And I would stand for any questions.
I just want to say, obviously, thank you for this. Could you go back one slide where you had the numbers? I think it's just an awesome thing to point out that, is that local share, is that Ottawa, just ours, or is that all of the four partners?
All of the partners. So we
Okay.
haven't determined how that would be, how that funding would look, but that's what's left over to be able to complete the project if we spend the full $825,000.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so a 1% share is not bad for $800,000. So thank you for your work on this as well. And then, the county, FCDC, and city of Wellsville. So excited to see. Do we have a timeline, estimated timeline? Is that Q2, or we're looking, or potentially later in the year?
We don't at this
Okay.
point. We're just going to have to work on those MOUs. The county will have to work on those MOUs, and then we'll start working on ours. So we don't have a time frame quite yet, but we'll be working on it diligently.
And do we know the specifics on where these monies will be spent when we talk about crossings and all that, or was that yet to be studied?
That's going to go along with the study. So we proposed some different options of some safety measures that we could take. We focused specifically on flood crossings and pedestrian crossings and high-speed corridors were the three kind of efforts that we looked at. So we have some equipment and some different things and some testing measures that we'll be doing. But we haven't determined those yet. As we move through the action plan, we'll figure out what that looks like.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I will say that, Melissa is always quick to share credit, and that's a wonderful trait. She deserves a lot of it for her work on this grant, and she did a great job. And I will say that a lot of times disagreement and dissension gets the headlines, but this is proof that we do have partnerships in our county. We're privileged to work with Franklin County. FCDC did a lot of work on this project, and of course our own team here at the City of Ottawa did. So we as a community, as a county, as a region are all stronger when we're able to work together to pull off results. And obviously this grant is one part of that. And frankly, over the last 4 or 5 years, our community has seen over $10 million in grant funds and ARPA funds that have flowed here because of work that we've all been able to do together. So it's an exciting time in our community, and I will tease that I think there's probably some more good news coming in the next few weeks as well. And we'll be talking more about that in the weeks to come. So thanks to Melissa and everyone who worked on that Safer Streets grant. I want to talk a little bit about the e-community program. E-community is we don't have a slide on this, I'm sorry. E-community program is through Network Kansas, and we have been working to find a new home for that. We were notified in December that FCDC would no longer provide that service. The state reached out to us after that conversation and asked us if we would be willing to work on that. And we have been working on that. Melanie's had several meetings with Network Kansas, the statewide administrator of the program, and we have been working with the Ottawa Area Chamber of Commerce and Ryland's group to see if they could come alongside and take over that program. A lot of different grant opportunities, a lot of different low-interest loan kind of gap financing, and also the Young Entrepreneur Competition, which takes place at Ottawa University between now and March. So we are going to be coming back to you with more details. The Chamber Board will be talking about this and what role they will be willing to take on, and we'll talk some more at your next meeting. But we are excited that we have that partner willing to step up and assist us as the city's picked up word from the state that they'd ask us to find a new home for that program. So we're working on that. I want to say thanks to George Ogle, the developer of Woodridge Estates, the program that you, the subdivision and the RHID that you approved tonight. I will say that this is, again, an example that even though times may be frustrating and we may not think the process moves as quickly as we all might want it to, at the end of the day, we do get to a successful result if we stay in it and work together. And I want to thank George for his patience and working through this with us. And I want to thank our staff. Melanie Landis deserves a special round of credit for working through the details and staying at it and getting us to yes on this project. And we are very excited to see what George produces up there at Milner and Wilson. And we're excited to have 13 more homes coming to our community over the next few years. So thank you to George and thank you to our city team for the work that you did on this project. We're excited about it. We all saw the tragic news out of Lawrence earlier this week about the shooting at the Lawrence City Hall. City halls are a lot of things, but they should be a place of discourse and civility, a place where we come together and talk about the future of our communities. They should not be a place of violence. And I just wanted Chief Weingartner to come up for a minute, and we don't have any more details for you, I think, on what happened in Lawrence, but talk to you about some of the enhancements that have been made here at City Hall for public safety and some of the ongoing programming that the police department does to help with that.
Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for your time. I won't share any specific details other than what's been publicly shared. It would be not appropriate for me to comment on another law enforcement agency's ongoing investigation or some of the facts on there until a final report's issued publicly on that. But speaking locally, what you've seen in this building in particular, which includes much of the work done in this commission chamber, was an overall strategic plan to enhance security and access in City Hall over a multi-period of time. By doing some of the updates that we've done, we've kind of provided some safety measures and safety access for staff and for the public. No public access was lost in any of the security changes that we have done. In fact, I would say that has probably enhanced that because we now can kind of funnel public into locations where there is a representative waiting for them to help and serve almost immediately, instead of maybe bypassing a desk previously that might not have been occupied and then look for a staff member to do that. And certainly that coordination's been wonderful from the first floor of City Hall and then up on the second floor of City Hall. We have, for employee access, we have enhanced our security by providing electronic access through a key card access program. What that does is allow IT and other city staff to track who enters the building and when. So we'll know when an employee can and cannot badge in and badge out, and has a track record of that. We also have surveillance cameras that have been upgraded at City Hall and the police department, both internally and externally, to keep monitoring activities in the event that we would need to go back and look at something. Those type of security systems don't necessarily prevent anything from happening, but it does help us in an investigation if we need to go back and review policies, procedures, or God forbid, a crime were to occur, and we would need to use that video as an investigative step. Some of the programs that the police department does specifically is through our active shooter and active threats program and training. We have a great relationship with all of our schools, both at the college and high school level, our houses of worship, and then our public. Most recently, we had our community public safety academy, and in that program provided at OMA a free 2-hour presentation for an active threats, active shooter training, and then those participants in the Citizens Academy got to go through our 2-hour practical scenario-based training to kind of reinforce the things that we do. And as city staff, we provide that training both internally, and we're, again, on the schedule to start providing that. The City Hall updates kind of interrupted maybe a little bit of that scheduling, but working with the other directors, we're going to get that out and scheduled this year so we can provide that, whether that's going to be at OMA or the police department for some of our subgroups, but we'll make sure that we get that done. Every year, as a county, through the local emergency planning commission that's operated from Franklin County Emergency Management, we have a group of city leaders, city businesses, education, a wide variety of people who meet and develops emergency management exercise schedules. Almost every single year, an active threat training program is requested by somebody within that group. So we are always working on those every single year, and we try to trade off and do, we did Windy City. Many of you may remember many years ago when we did the Windy City to test kind of our responses in an incident command for a major incident. Train derailment. We're all in the planning phases for some that are directly related for World Cup in 2026. And one in particular with one of our businesses up in the industrial park that has reached out to us, and in coordination, we will have a community training specific for that business and some employees on an active threat in that particular business. And it will include all of our county partners, regional partners, state and federal partners. It's going to be pretty good. And again, that'll help us test and prepare some of those things in case we have anything that would happen here, or if we need to respond regionally related to the World Cup. But just know that safety, security, and those procedures are always at front of our mind. The active threat response protocols and procedures has certainly changed over the course of my career, and we try to stay abreast and ahead of those changes as they come with our staff and to provide that service back to you in the community.
Thank you, Chief.
Yep, thank you.
Chief, do you think the North Industrial was brought upon, like the incident that occurred at the Panasonic plant up in DeSoto? You know, now that that's happened somewhere, it kind of, you know, being proactive instead of reactive, people are now reaching out to you for some sort of training like that?
Usually almost after an incident, particularly if it's pretty locally based, we do get some inquiries from others on that training. In our updated active threats presentation, we have some references to incidents specific to Kansas, again, to kind of make that local connection, because oftentimes people maybe don't think it can happen here or happen close by, but if we look back, even going back as many as 40-some years ago to a school shooting that occurred in Goddard, Kansas, it does happen here. It will happen here, and we all just must be prepared to be ready for that and how to respond and recover from it. Recovery is the most important part.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, we do have your upcoming agenda on the 14th. We will be taking up the Prairie Paws Animal Shelter Services Agreement. You'll recall that we broke that out of the community partners funding arrangement, and we've been working diligently with their director and our chief of police to work through that agreement. I think we have a draft. I know we have a draft ready for you. I think it's a draft that you will like, and we'll be bringing that to you at your next meeting. We'll also have an executive session at the next meeting to discuss city manager applicants. Recall that process is there'll be a cut down to finalists at that point, and then interviews for that position will take place the first week of February. And so that process continues to be ongoing. I want to thank Michelle Jacobson and Michelle Segment Jacobson in our HR department for her work interfacing with SGR and making arrangements for that. There are quite a lot of logistics that go into getting ready to have several folks come in and interview, and getting stakeholders in the community involved. And so we want to thank her for her work on that project. So with that, I would stand for any questions that the commission may have of me.
I don't think we have any.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. That'll take us to item 13, comments by governing body. We'll start with Commissioner Van Leeden.
Yeah, well, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. I'm looking forward to this upcoming year. We got the big grant. We can start working on a lot of cool stuff going on there, and looking forward to getting a new city manager on board. So,
Thank you. Commissioner Allen.
I have no comment.
Commissioner Skidmore.
I have nothing to add.
Mayor Pro Tem Crowley.
No comment.
Okay, leaves me. I did want to bring one thing up before announcements. Looking at the dates for our upcoming commission meetings, I believe January 28th is LKM's day at the Capitol.
21st.
Isn't that KMU?
Oh,
Yeah, KMU's the 21st. The 28th, I think, the league day at the Capitol. And I'll confirm that, and I can touch base with Gloria too. But just I know I will be there. Usually all of us do go, and so with having 2 meetings potentially in a row canceled, if we wanted to discuss the opportunity for rescheduling a different day within those weeks, what that kind of looks like, if we think we'll need a meeting over those 2 weeks, or we can always hold out till next week to kind of make that final decision. But just to kind of bring that, to everyone's attention before we do get to that. For kind of comments, I want to bring up the website search. Super excited. I've only tested it once, and it was awesome. So I'm so excited for that. I know it will help me be able to answer citizens' questions that I get via email a lot faster. And hopefully it will help those people be able to find answers as well a little bit easier. And then I'll second the thank you to George for your work. Growing up on the north side, I remember I've walked on Wilson for 15 years of my life, and that corner has always been one that needed something done. So it's amazing to see houses going in there, half a block from the school. So I think it's a great location. I think it's going to be great for potential students and those residents and stuff who live there. So thank you for your work there. And then obviously thank you to City Clerk Sherman for your work on grants as always. I think we're going to get you a hat, like a grant hat or something, because as City Attorney Finch mentioned, it's amazing the amount of money that has been able to come into the community through those grants the past few years. So thank you for that. That'll take us to announcements. Item 14. January 14th, we have commission meeting here at 4 p.m. in City Hall. January 21st, the 10 o'clock meeting is canceled, as that is KMU Day at the Capitol. January 28th, we have City Commission here at 4 p.m. And we'll be discussing, hopefully next week, if we have that meeting or what that schedule will kind of look like going forward. Other than that, we need an executive session for 20 minutes. I believe 20 minutes.
Mr. Mayor, I move the commission recess into executive session to engage in privileged and confidential communication with the board's attorney pursuant to attorney-client privileges, exception KSA 75-4319B2. The open meeting will resume here at 8:08. I'll give us 5 minutes to get everything settled and get into the room.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor, say
Aye.
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 All opposed? We're in executive session. Session.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We are out of executive session. I will adjourn.